born at West Hills, Long Island in New York on May 31, 1819. वॉल्ट विटमैन कब जन्म हुआ था? 31 मई 1819 को। फादर वॉल्टर अ लेबर कारपेंटर एंड हाउस बिल्डर थे। फादर लेबर कारपेंटर एंड हाउस बिल्डर थे। मदर लुइसा डिवोल्ट क्वेकर थी। In 1823 his family moved to Brooklyn where Walt Whitman got his schooling 1825 to 1830. 1823 his family moved to Brooklyn where Walt Whitman got his schooling 1825-1830. 1825 से 1830 के बीच में वॉल्ट विटमैन ने ब्रुकलिन में अपनी स्टडी की थी। सर इनकी फैमिली ब्रुकलिन में हो गई थी तो वहाँ पे इन्होंने स्टडी करी थी। 1830 से 1836 में ये वेरियस ऑफ सम ऑफ द मेन न्यूज़पेपर इन ब्रुकलिन एंड महत्तम 1830 से 36 तक इन्होंने विभिन्न प्रकार की जॉब की थी। उसमें से कुछ न्यूज़पेपर थी ब्रुकलिन में महत्तम की थी जॉब। 1836 से 1841 ही हैड बीन ए स्कूल टीचर। 1825 से 1830 में इन्होंने स्टडी करी थी और 1830 से 1836 इन्होंने विभिन्न प्रकार की जॉब करी थी। 1836 से 1841 ये एक स्कूल टीचर रहे हैं। 1841 से 1847 रिपोर्टर एंड एडिटर इन वेरियस न्यूज़पेपर। 1846 में एडिटर ऑफ ब्रुकलिन डेली ईगल। 1846 में एडिटर ऑफ ब्रुकलिन डेली ईगल। 1842 में पब्लिश फ्रैंकलिन इवान। 42 में इन्होंने पब्लिश किया था फ्रैंकलिन इवान। 1848 में डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम द ईगल। 1848 में डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम द ईगल। 1848 visited New Orleans, work on New Orleans newspaper and traveled on Mississippi River and Great Lakes. 1848 में visited New Orleans, work on New Orleans newspaper and traveled on the Mississippi River and Great Lakes. 1849 में editor of Brooklyn Freeman a journal. 1849 में editor of Brooklyn Freeman and a journal. 1841-1851 से he began to compose poems which were published in Leaves of Grass. 1841 to 1851 he began to compose poems. 41 में editor of Brooklyn Freeman a journal. 41 से 51 he began to compose poems which were published in Leaves of Grass. 50 से 54 he was a part-time journalist, carpenter and house builder with his family. 1850 to 1854 he was a part-time journalist, carpenter and house builder with his father. 1860 to 65 the Civil War was a major event in Whitman's life. 1861 to 65 the Civil War was a major event in Whitman's life. 1865 Lincoln's assassination moved Whitman deeply and he wrote several poems in deep grief. 1865 Lincoln's assassination moved Whitman deeply and he wrote several poems in deep grief. William Walt Whitman. 1810 he suffered a mild paralytic stroke which left him a semi-invalid. Whitman last year 1888 to 1892 he mostly confined to his room which he had bought in Camden, New Jersey. Whitman's last year 1888 से 1892 1888 से 1892 में इन्होंने कोई भी स्टडी नहीं करी थी. Mostly confined to his room which he had bought in Camden, New Jersey. Critic W.D.O. called him God Griefer. Critic W.D.O. called him good griefer. His poetry showed the impact of romantic idealism. He harmonized romanticism and idealism. मतलब Whitman harmonized romanticism and realism. 1992 he died. वॉल्ट विटमैन का जन्म कब हुआ था? He was born on 31st May 1819. 31st May 1819 और इनकी डेथ कब हुई थी? 1892 में। Harmonized romanticism development. Major poet of American literature. A major poet of American literature, he was a philosopher, mystic, and critic. He was born at Bedford Hills, Long Island, in New York on May 31st, 1819. Father Walter, a laborer, carpenter, and house builder. Mother Louisa Devote Quaker. In 1823, his family moved to Brooklyn, where Walt Whitman got schooling. 1825, 1830. 1830 से 36 he had various jobs, some of them in newspaper in Brooklyn and Manhattan. Walt Whitman, a major poet of American literature. A major poet of American literature, born on 31st May 1819. 31st May 1819, and he was a philosopher, mystic, and critic. He was born at West Hills, Long Island. Walt Whitman, Long Island, और 31st May 1819. मदर कौन थी इनकी? लुइसा, और फादर थे इनके वॉल्टर, लेबरर, कारपेंटर एंड हाउस बिल्डर. फादर जो थे इनके एक लेबरर थे, कारपेंटर थे एंड हाउस बिल्डर थे. मदर जो थी लुइसा डिवोट क्वेकर. 1823 में इनकी फैमिली जो मूव हो जाती है ब्रुकलिन में ही इन्होंने 1825 से 1830 तक स्टडी करी थी. 1830 से 1836 तक इनको जॉब करना पड़ा था. वेरियस जॉब की थी इन्होंने, न्यूज़पेपर, जैसे कि न्यूज़पेपर में एंड ब्रुकलिन एंड मैनहट्टन. 36 से 41 में ही हैड बीन ए स्कूल टीचर. 36 से 41 तक ये स्कूल टीचर रहे हैं. 41 से 47 में इन्होंने रिपोर्टर एंड एडिटर की तरह काम किया था ब्रुकलिन डेली ईगल में. 1842 में फ्रैंकलिन इवांस 1842 में इन्होंने पब्लिश किया था एक फ्रैंकलिन इवांस. 48 में डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम द ईगल, मतलब जो 41 से 47 में इन्होंने ईगल ब्रुकलिन डेली ईगल में काम किया था, वहाँ से 48 में इनको डिस्चार्ज कर दिया जाता है. एंड 1848 विजिटेड न्यू ऑरलियंस, वर्क ऑन न्यू ऑरलियंस न्यूज़पेपर एंड ट्रेवल्ड ऑन मिसिसिपी रिवर एंड ग्रेट लेक्स. 48 visited New Orleans, worked on New Orleans newspaper and traveled on Mississippi River and Great Lakes. 1849 editor of Brooklyn Freeman. 1849 में एडिटर ऑफ ब्रुकलिन फ्रीमैन. पहले तो ये ईगल में थे, ब्रुकलिन डेली ईगल में, उसके बाद वहाँ डिस्चार्ज हुए. 49 में एडिटर ऑफ ब्रुकलिन फ्रीमैन के जनरल हो गए थे. कौन कमेंट कर रहा है भाई? नवीन मौर्य. Read the ones to watch. Which were published in Leaves of Grass. 1841 to 51, he began to compose poems which were published in Leaves of Grass. 1850 to 54, he was a part-time journalist, carpenter and house builder. He was a part-time journalist with his father. 61 65, the Civil War was a major event in Whitman's life. 61 to 65, the Civil War was a major event in Whitman's life. 65, Lincoln's assassination of Whitman's deeply. Several claims in Deep Creek. 1865, Lincoln's assassination moved Whitman's deeply and he wrote several poems in Deep Creek. He suffered a mild paralytic stroke which left him a semi-violent. 1865, Lincoln's assassination moved Whitman's deeply and he wrote several poems in Deep Creek. 1870, he suffered a mild paralytic stroke which left him a semi-violent. Whitman's last day 1880 years से 1892 के बीच विटमैन ने कुछ भी नहीं किया था. He mostly confined to his room which he had bought in Camden, New Jersey. Years 1880 years 1892, he mostly confined to his room he bought in Camden, New Jersey. Critic W.D. O'Connor called him God Giver. Critic W.D. O'Connor called him God Giver. Poetry show by Franklin Evans, 1842 novel. Franklin Evans, 1842 novels. The Half-Breed, A Tale of the Western Frontier, 1846. A novel. Life and Adventure of Jack Eagle, 1852. Life and Adventure of Jack Eagle, 1852. Leaves of Grass, 1855. Poetic work from Health and Training, 1858. City of Newspaper column. Drum Taps, 1865. Four Poems, Democratic Wisdom, 1871. Prose work. Memorinda during the war, 1876. Prose work. Specimen Days, 1882. Leaves of Grass, 9 Introduces popularly poetry collection considered as the Bible of democracy. First collection is popular poetry collection considered as the Bible of democracy. First collection, Portugal, 1855. Five poems. Here's the preface which expounds his theory of new poetry. Here's the preface which expounds his theory of new poetry. Second edition, 1856. 20 poems. The third edition, 1066, 124 poems. Song of Myself, longest part of Leaf of Grass, 1891-92. Last edition, Bethlehem. Edition theme, love, life, death, sex, democracy and science. जो वर्ष थे हॉटलेट बन के कहते फ्रैंकलिन यून 1842 में उनका फर्स्ट नोन एज हाफ-ब्रीड, A Tale of the Western Frontier, 1846. Life and Adventure of Jack Eagle, 1852. Leaf of Grass, 1855. Poetic works, The Many Health and Training, 1858. Series of newspaper column. Drum Taps, 1865. Four poems. The Democratic Wisdom, 1871. Prose work. Memorinda during the war, 1876. Prose works. Specimen Days, 1882. Leaves of Grass, 9 edition. His popular poetry collection considered as the Bible of democracy. First collection, Leaves of Grass, 1855 में आया था. 1855 में आया था. 1855. He adds the preface which expounds his theory of 1861. Song of Myself, longest part of the Leaves of Grass, 1891-92. Last edition, third edition, theme, love, life, death, sex, democracy and science. Longest poem of Leaves, Free Words मिलती है. Teaching on the Song of Whitman, but the Song of America. क्या ये विटमैन का सॉन्ग नहीं है, बट ये अमेरिका के लिए एक सॉन्ग है. इंट्रोडक्टरी पोएम ऑफ लीव्स एंड ग्रास. टी पोएट क्लोज फॉर हिमसेल्फ. विटमैन सिंग्स ऑफ मॉडर्न मैन. डू आई कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट माई सेल्फ, आई इवन देम कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट माई सेल्फ. टी पोएट्रिक जगह पोएट खुद के लिए यूज करते हैं और फ्री वर्ड्स में लिखे गए सॉन्ग ऑफ माई सेल्फ. डू आई कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट माई सेल्फ, एनिमल 32 सॉन्ग ऑफ माई सेल्फ. एनिमल का 32वां सॉन्ग था. He loves animals because they have peace, contentment and innocence. Whitman loves animals because they have peace, contentment and innocence. Whitman described the beauty of the stallion horse. Whitman wishes to live with them. Whitman wishes to live with animals. They do not have any tension. Animals do not have any tension. Animals do not have to sweat for living. Animals have not to work like a madman for wealth and power. Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, published 25 listening to the 32 song था. Leaves of Grass, 1855 में आया था. इसका 32वां था. कौन सा एनिमल. Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, published 1856. Basic oneness of life. East River separates Brooklyn from Manhattan. East River separates Brooklyn from Manhattan. The poet crosses the river in a ferry. The river becomes the sea of life, sea of time. river become the sea of life, sea of time. The ferry is human life. The ferry is human life. This ferry has to cross the sea of life. It will reach at the destination. Eternal out of the cradle, endlessly lightly rocking. This ferry has to cross the sea of life. Ferry is human life. This ferry has to cross the sea of life. It will reach at the destination. Eternal out of the cradle, endlessly rocking. Out of the cradle, endlessly rocking. Most complex and successfully integrated poems. 3 images. Develop boy, the boy, bird, sea. Most complex and successfully integrated poems. 3 images. Boys, bird, sea. Kismet crossing Brooklyn Ferry at 10:57. Most complex and successfully integrated. Boy, world, of the sea. These images develop the theme of the poem. Boy, symbol of curiosity, sea, life of creation, birds are soul of the poem. Relationship between suffering and art. इसके बीच में है सोल ऑफ द पोएम. बॉय जो सिंबल है वो सिंबल ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी का है. बॉय सिंबल ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी का है. सी लाइफ ऑफ क्रिएशन का है. बर्ड सोल ऑफ द पोएम है. Relationship between suffering and art. World between works. On the beach at night, taken from tips of grass. The poet is visionary and mystic in this poem. The poet is visionary and mystic in this poem. He wishes to understand the mystery of the world. On the beach at night, taken from leaves. The poet is visionary and mystic in this poem. He wishes to understand the mystery of the world. He wishes to understand the mystery of the world. With the help of her father, her and her father. Wishes to understand the mystery of the world with the help of father and mother. Real stand for simplicity and innocence, while her father for wisdom, age and learning. The beach at night, the girl stand for simplicity and innocence, while her father for wisdom and age and learning. She is on the beach with her father. She wonders when she sees the expanse of the sky and water. She is on the beach with her father. She wonders when she sees the expanse of the sky and water. She sees the black clouds which frighten her father. She sees the black clouds which frighten her. Father consoles the child, saying that the stars will emerge soon and eclipse is temporary. Father consoles the child, saying that the stars will emerge soon and eclipse is temporary. God is present in nature. His glory can never be obscured. The poem presents the deep faith of the poet in God. The poem presents the deep faith of the poet in God. On the beach at night, taken from leaves of grass at 10:55 में जो आया था उसमें का the poet is visionary and mystic in the poem. Poet जो है उसमें visionary and mystic है. It is to understand the mystery of the world. To understand the mystery of the world, which is help of a girl, with the help of a girl and her father. The girl stands for simplicity and innocence, while her father for wisdom, age, and learning. She is on the beach with her father. She wonders when she sees the expanse of the sky and water. She sees the black clouds which frighten her. Father consoles the child, saying that the stars will emerge soon and eclipse is temporary. God is present in nature. His glory can never be obscured. The poem presents the deep faith of the poet in God. When lilac last in durian bloom. It is a long elegy in 16 sections on the death of Abraham Lincoln, the President of America. Lilac last in the durian bloom. It is a long elegy in 16 sections On the death of Abraham Lincoln, the president of America, the poet used a symbol in the poem The Star, Lincoln, the lilac, human love, the hermit thrust, the soul of bird song, the carol of death. The poet used a symbol in the poem The Star, Lincoln, the lilac, human love, the hermit thrust, the soul of the bird song, carol of death. In the poem, the poet laments for the death of his body. He has the consolation that the soul is immortal has come lovely and soothing death, undulate round the world, serenely arriving in the day, in the night, to all, to each, sooner or later, delicate death. Come lovely and soothing death, come lovely and soothing death, undulate round the world, serenely arriving in the day, in the night, to all, to each, sooner or later, delicate death. In the day, in the night, to all, to each, sooner or later, delicate death. Here, coffin that slowly passes, I give you my spring of lilac. Here, coffin that slowly passes, I give you my spring of lilac. O Captain, my Captain, analogy taken from Leaves of Grass. Lincoln wants to make an end of slavery. Analogy taken from Leaves of Grass. Lincoln wants to make an end of slavery. He has to wage a civil war against the southern states. The poem is a cry of a broken heart. Broken heart, the grief is expressed through the uses of symbol and metaphors. The poem is a cry of broken heart. The grief is expressed through the uses of symbol and metaphors. The ship is the USA. The captain is Abraham Lincoln. Ship क्या है? USA है. मतलब शिप जो है वो यूएसए को डिनोट करता है. अब्राहम लिंकन कैप्टन. The voyage is the civil war under Lincoln's leadership. The captain brings the ship back home. The people wait for the captain, but the captain is no more. The bird go on the deck of the ship, where the captain is laying in bed. This poem is divided into 3 stanzas, 8 lines each. Other regular rhyme pattern. Exult, O soar, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful tread walk on the deck, my captain, fallen cold and dead. Exult, O soar, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful tread walk on deck, my captain, fallen cold and dead. A major poet of American literature. Whitman was a philosopher, critic, and mystic. Whitman was born on West Hills Island, Long Island at New York, on May 31st, 1819. Father Walter, a laborer, carpenter, and house builder. Mother Jyoti Louisa, devout maker. 1823, his family moved to Brooklyn, where Walt Whitman got his schooling. 1825-1830. 30 से 36 के बीच में he had various jobs, some of them in newspaper in Brooklyn and Manhattan. In 1830 से 36 के बीच उन्होंने various jobs किए थे, like न्यूज़पेपर में ब्रुकलिन एंड मैनहट्टन. 36 से 40 तक इन्होंने स्कूल टीचर का काम किया था, हैड बीन ए स्कूल टीचर. 41 से 47 तक इन्होंने रिपोर्टेड एंड रिटन वेरियस न्यूज़पेपर. 1846 में ये ब्रुकलिन डेली ईगल के एडिटर हुए. 1848 में फ्रैंकलिन इवांस इनका आया था, पोएम पब्लिश करवाया था. कौन सा? फ्रैंकलिन इवान. 1842 में. 1848 में इनको डिस्चार्ज कर दिया जाता है. कहाँ से डिस्चार्ज किया जाता है? 1842 में इनको जो ईगल था, ईगल डेली ईगल ब्रुकलिन का, वहाँ से इनको डिस्चार्ज कर दिया जाता है. 48 में न्यू ऑर्लियंस विजिट करते हैं. न्यू ऑर्लियंस, वर्कड ऑन न्यू ऑर्लियंस न्यूज़पेपर एंड ट्रेवल्ड ऑन मिसिसिपी रिवर एंड ग्रेट लेक. 1848 में ये क्या विजिट करते हैं? मिसिसिपी रिवर एंड ग्रेट लेक्स. 1849 editor of Brooklyn Tribune, a journal. 1841 से 51 he began to compose poems which were published in Leaves of Grass. 1850 से 54 he was a part-time journalist and carpenter and house builder with his father. 1861 से 65 में the Civil War was a major event in Whitman's life. 1865 में Lincoln's assassination moved to Whitman deeply and he wrote several poems in deep grief. 1873 he suffered a mild paralytic stroke which left him semi-invalid. Whitman's last year 1888 से लगभग 1892 तक इनका लास्ट ईयर माना जाता है क्योंकि इस बीच में इन्होंने कोई भी वर्क नहीं लिखा था. ये खुद को बंद करके रहते कॉमलेट न्यू जर्सी. He had bought his room confined to his room and which he had bought in Camden, New Jersey. Critic W.D.O. called him good great poet. His poetry shows the impact of romantic idealism. He harmonizes romanticism and realism. 1892 he died. Franklin इनकी जो arrest थी Franklin Ivan 1842 में आई थी. फर्स्ट टाइम पब्लिश The Half Breed, A Tale of Western Frontier, a novel. Life and Adventure of Jack Eagle. Life and Adventure of Jack Eagle 1852. Leaves of Grass 1855 में आया था. पोएटिक वर्क है. Many Health and Training 1858 release of new paper columns. Trump Taps 1865 for poems. Democratic Visitor 1871 prose work. Memoranda during the war 1876 prose work. Specimen Days 1882. Leaves of Grass की जो मेन पोएम है Song of Myself है. लॉन्गेस्ट पोएम ऑफ लेफ्स ऑफ ग्रास जो कि फ्री वर्स में है. उसके बाद एनिमल जो है एनिमल पोएमेटी है 32 पोएम है इनकी सॉन्ग ऑफ माई सेल्फ से. इसमें ये एनिमल्स को लव करते हैं उस अकॉर्डिंग उन्होंने दिखाया है. सॉन्ग ऑफ माई सेल्फ से जो इन्होंने आई यूज किया है वो पोएट यूज फॉर हिम. टी यूज किया है वो पोएट यूज फॉर हिमसेल्फ. सिंग्स मॉडर्न मैन डू आई कंट्राडिक्ट माई सेल्फ वेरी वेल देन कंट्राडिक्ट माई सेल्फ. यहाँ पे ये विटमैन खुद के लिए गाना नहीं गाते हैं, ये अमेरिका के लिए बोलते हैं. क्रॉसिंग ब्रुकलिन पेनी जो पब्लिश हुई 1856 में 19 ऑफ लाइफ है. उसके बाद वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड का ऑन द बीच एट नाइट. इनमें इन्होंने एक फादर और एक डॉटर को लिया है जो कि एक इमेजिनेशन पे इन्होंने बनाया है ऑन द बीच एट नाइट. उसके बाद विल लाइलैक क्लास इन द डोरिया. इसमें इन्होंने अब्राहम लिंकन जो उस टाइम वहाँ के प्रेसिडेंट थे उनके बारे में बताया है. उसके बाद लास्ट पोएम जो ओ कैप्टन माई कैप्टन रिलीज ऑफ ग्रास की है और ये एक इलेजी है अब्राहम लिंकन के ऊपर लिखा था. उसके बाद अगला है विलियम फॉकनर. बर्थ प्लेस न्यू ओल्ड मिसिसिपी मदर मॉड बटलर. विलियम फॉकनर बायोग्राफी. विलियम कथवर्थ फॉकनर इनका जो पूरा नाम विलियम कथवर्थ फॉकनर born on September 25, 1897. September 25, 1897. Birthplace का the New Albany, Mississippi. Mother Maud Butler. Father थे Murray Faulkner. He was different student of his high school when he was 15. He was an indifferent student. He dropped his high school when he was 15 साल का थी तब इन्होंने हाई स्कूल कंप्लीट कर लिया था. ड्यूरिंग वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट ही जॉइंड द कनाडियन रॉयल फ्लाइंग कॉर्प्स. वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट के दौरान इन्होंने कनाडियन रॉयल फ्लाइंग कॉर्प्स ज्वाइन किया था. वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट के दौरान कनाडियन फ्लाइंग कॉर्प्स ज्वाइन किया था. आफ्टर द वॉर he came back to Oxford, enrolled as a special student at the University of Mississippi. After the year, he came back to Oxford, enrolled as a special student at the University of Mississippi. He began to write school paper and magazines. Quickly, he had a reputation as an eccentric. He began to write school papers and magazines. Quickly, he had a reputation as an eccentric. His strange routine and swanky dress habits brought him the nickname Count No Count. His strange routine and shiny dress habit brought him to nickname Count No Count. He became the postmaster of the university in 1921 but resigned there after 3 years. He became the postmaster of the university in 1921 but resigned there after 3 years. Claim that Faulkner, original Faulkner, born on September 25, 1897, नेवल एवेन्यू मिसिसिपी। मदर जो थी वो मॉड बटलर थी और फादर जो थे मरी फॉकनी। He was an independent student when he was 15. He had completed his high school. During World War I, he joined Canadian while flying corps. After the war, he come back to Oxford, enrolled as a special student at the University of Mississippi. After the war, he come back to Oxford, enrolled as a special student at the University of Mississippi. He began to write school papers and magazines. Quickly, he earned a reputation as an eccentric. His daily routine and psychiatrist habits brought him the nickname Count Nacon. He became the first master of the university in 1924, resigned there after 3 years. 1925 फोन published 1924 में 1924 विटमैन की जो फर्स्ट नॉवल फोन थी वो पब्लिश हुई थी। इन अर्ली टू 1925 Faulkner and Trent traveled to New Orleans. There he met novelist Theodore Anderson. 1925 में इन्होंने विजिट किया था और इन्होंने कब विजिट किया था 58 के समथिंग विजिट किया था। 48 में हमने ऑर्लेंस in 1921 but resigned there after 3 years. 1904 his first work of poetry, The Man Who Found Fortress. In early 1925, Faulkner and Trent traveled to New Orleans. There he met novelist Harold Anderson. His friendship with Anderson inspired him to write novels. This first novel, Soldier Boy, published in 1926. William Faulkner की फर्स्ट नॉवल थी सोल्जर पे पब्लिश इन 1926। 1926 The Radical, 1927 Mosquito Sartorius, 1921 The Sick, The Sound and Fury, 1929 As I Lie, Dying, 1930। 1926 से 31 के बीच में इनकी 4 पोएम पब्लिश हुए थे। पहला 1927 में मॉस्किटो आई थी, Sartorius 1929 में आई थी, उसके बाद साउंड एंड फ्यूरी आई थी 1929 में, एंड एज आई ले डाइंग 1930। 1929 ही मैरिड स्टेलहम 29 97 से 29 में स्टेलहम ओल्डहम से शादी करी थी। कंसीडर्ड टू बी द ट्रू अमेरिकन मॉडर्निस्ट प्रोज फिक्शन राइटर ऑफ 1930। कंसीडर्ड हिमसेल्फ कंसीडर किया था एक सच्चे अमेरिकन मॉडर्निस्ट के रूप में जो प्रोज फिक्शन राइटर ऑफ 1930। He was known for using stream of consciousness, time shift, and multiple narration. Faulkner was known for using stream of consciousness and time shift and multiple narration. First is short story collection titled These 13. First short story collection इनका आया था 1930 titled These 13 songs 1931 में आया था। क्या था एक प्लॉट नॉवल था, इसकी थीम क्या थी एविल एंड करप्शन। 1959 he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. 1949 he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. 1949-53 he had an affair with John Williams, US National Book Award 2 times in Kolkata. 1949-53 he had an affair with John Williams. 1949 से 53 मतलब इनकी शादी हो गई थी 29 में, फिर भी इनका प्यार था जॉन विलियम्स से। यूएस नेशनल बुक अवार्ड 2 टाइम्स। करेक्टेड स्टोरीज के लिए मिला था 1951 में, दूसरा अ फेबल 1955 में आया था, उसके लिए इनको मिला था। पुलित्जर प्राइज इनको मिला था दो बार, फेबल के लिए, फेबल 1955 में जाना था उसके लिए, रिवर्स 1963 में था। स्टेट पोस्टल सर्विस सम्मान के लिए जो जारी किया जाता था, 22 सेंट पोस्टेज स्टैम्प मिले थे 1987 में। 57-58 में राइटर इन रेजिडेंस इन द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ वर्जीनिया। 57-58 में राइटर इन रेजिडेंट इन द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ वर्जीनिया। He got seriously injured after falling his horse. 62 में he got seriously injured after falling his horse. 1962 he died due to fatal heart attack and buried at St. Peter's Cemetery. 62 में ये क्या होता है, falling his horse, अपने घोड़े से गिरते हैं और वहीं पे 62 में इनकी डेथ हो जाती है, हार्ट अटैक। सेंट पीटर सेमेट्री में इनको बलि किया गया है। युगना पटावा फिक्शनल टाउन था इनका फिक्शनल टाउन युगना पटावा था। थॉमस ऑडी का वेसेक्स था और किनारा मालगुडी। ही रोड द सदर्न पार्ट ऑफ द यूएसए के किस पार्ट के लिए लिखते थे, यूएसए के सदर्न पार्ट के लिए लिखते थे फिलिप फॉकनर। सोलर पे 1926 में था, मॉस्किटो 1927, जोरो सार्डोरिस 1929, द साउंड एंड फ्यूरी 1929 में आया था। एज आई ले डाई 1930, सांगजरी 1931 में, यहाँ पे फॉर 1931 में आया था। दीज 13 जो स्टोरी का कलेक्शन था, दीज 13 भी 1931 में ही आया था। शॉर्ट स्टोरी कलेक्शन सांगजरी 1930, 19 अगस्त 1932, अपसालम 1936, द Rankist 1938, Wild Palms 1939, Hamlet 1940 और Intruder in the Lust 1948 में, Recom for a Nun ये पार्ट नॉवल एंड पार्ट प्ले था। 1951 में था, फेबल 1954, द डाउन 1957, द मैनिसन 1960, द रिवर्स 1962। प्लेज इनके थे मेरियोनेट्स 1 एक्ट 1920, 1920, Recom for a Nun पार्ट नॉवल एंड पार्ट प्ले। पोइट्री कलेक्शन जो था इनका 1921 में विजन इन स्प्रिंग आया था। 1921 मार्वल फोन आया था। 32 में दिशार्था फॉर्म आया था। 1930 ग्रीन बॉय आया था। 1979 में सस्पेक्ट फॉर्म्स। 1981 में हेलेना। थर्ड स्टोरी कलेक्शन आया था ना, दीज 13 एक्शन फॉर फेस गैमलेट। 1931 में स्टोरी कलेक्शन आया था, दीज 13 एंड आया था सांगसुरी। नाइट्स गैमलेट कलेक्शन ऑफ क्राइम फिक्शन 1950 में कलेक्टर स्टोरीज आया था। 1967 में सिलेक्ट आर्ट स्टोरीज आया था। सोल्जर्स पे 1926, शॉर्टोरिस मॉस्किटो 1927, सोल्जर्स पे 1926, मॉस्किटो 1927 और शॉर्टोरिस 1929, शॉर्टोरिस के बाद साउंड एंड फ्यूरी 1929 में दो आए थे। कौन से, एक शॉर्टोरिस एंड साउंड एंड फ्यूरी। एज आई ले डाइंग 1930 में आया था। सॉन्ग्स 1931 में आया था। 1931 में दीज 13 जो कि थर्ड स्टोरी कलेक्शन का आया था। लाइट इन अगस्त 1932 में आया था। अपसालम 1936 में आया था। द अनरैंकिस्ट 1938 में आया था। द वाइल्ड फॉर्म, द हैमलेट 1940, इंट्रूडर इन द डस्ट 1948, रिकम फॉर अ नन 1951 में आया था, लेकिन ये पार्ट नॉवेल एंड पार्ट प्ले है। फेबल 1954 जिसके लिए इनको 2 बार पुलिट्जर एक बार पुलिट्जर प्राइज मिला था एंड एक बार इनको यूएस नेशनल बुक अवार्ड भी मिला था फेबल के लिए। और रिवर्स के लिए इनको मिला था पुलिट्जर प्राइज 1963 में। फेबल 1954 में आया था, तो 55 में इसके लिए इनको अवार्ड मिला था। और रिवर्स 1962 में आया था, तो 63 में इसके लिए अवार्ड मिला था। सोल्जर्स पे इनका फर्स्ट वर्क ऑफ फॉकनर 1926। लेफ्टिनेंट डोनाल्ड मोहन जो थे, लेफ्टिनेंट डोनाल्ड मोहन, दिस नॉवेल इज फॉकनर्स एम्बिशियस वर्क। Faulkner uses modernist structure technique in this novel. Faulkner uses modernist structure technique in this novel. Mohan Mehon is a fighter pilot. mm, द सोल्जर्स पे 1996 में जो आया था। ऐसा जो मेहन है ये फाइटर पायलट होता है और ये चोट लग जाती है एंड मोहन रिप्रेजेंट द वाउंडेड डेड एंड डाइंग सोल्जर्स। जो वाउंडेड थे डेड थे एंड डाइंग सोल्जर्स थे उनको डिनोट करता है। मार्गरेट जो थी वो मार्गरेट पावर्स रिप्रेजेंट द वुमेन हु बिकेम विडो बिफोर देयर टाइम। मार्गरेट कौन है? उस टाइम जो औरतें विधवा हो गई थी उनके लिए है। Mohan is returning to home from World War First and to his family in Georgia. He is believed to be dead. His family members are surprised and are curious to know his condition and experience. People show respect to the soldiers who died. People show respect to the soldiers who died, but the soldiers who survive are on fringe of society. But the soldiers who survive are on fringe of society. They are considered to be the reminders of the war. They are considered to be the reminders of the war. The war leaves an influence on the people. They are considered to be the reminders of the war. The war leaves an influence on the people. Sound and Fury masterpiece of the writer Faulkner. Title taken from Macbeth Act 5. This novel is set in Jefferson, Mississippi. It moves around the Thompson family. It is Southern family member story who became victim of lust, suicide, incest. The story is in 4 sections. It is not in chronological order. 4 सेक्शन में होती है बट ये chronological order में नहीं होती है। The speaker of the first part is Benji. The story happens in 1928. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट इसका 4 पार्ट में डिवाइड। फर्स्ट पार्ट 1928 में आता है। बेंजी है इसमें का जो मेन है एंड the story happens in 1920. Continues the speaker of the second part 1910. फिर से स्टोरी 28 में चले जाते। थर्ड पार्ट फोर्थ पार्ट इज फ्रॉम 27 point after 8 April 1990. Last section takes Lindsay, the black servant of Thompson family. The speaker of the first part is Benji. The story happens 1928. Continues the speaker of the second part 1910. The third part is spoken by Jason. The fourth part is from the one-set narrative point of view. The last section takes Lindsay, the black servant of Thompson family. 3 sons, 1 daughter. So this is 1 daughter, continuation Benjamin, 1 daughter, Candace, Kelly. Daughter name is Kelly Seducer. Thompson family 3 sons, 1 daughter होती है Quentin, Jason, Benjamin, a daughter थी Candy. Dalton Samiz is Candy's seducer. Herbert Head is Candy's husband. Dalton Amy जो थी वो Candy को seduce करने वाला था, मतलब Candace जो थी। Herbert Head is Candy's husband. Benji is mentally retarded. Benji जो था वो Candy का भाई था, mentally retarded था। He also seen when Candace uses perfume when she loses her virginity when the wedding takes place. He recalls the scene when Candace uses perfume when she loses her virginity when the wedding takes place. He also has the impression from his name change from Maury to Benjamin. मौरी नाम था, मौरी से बेंजामिन इसने चेंज किया था। also the impression of his mother Quentin suicide. Benji has also the impression of his mother Quentin suicide. The second section contains reflect on Katie, her sexuality, and the mortification because of her unrenewed pregnancy. Mediation in the section contains reflects on Candy, her sexuality, and the mortification because of her unrenewed pregnancy. Quentin claims that he had passion for his sister Kelly and has incest with her. Quentin claims that he had passion for his sister Kelly and he had incest with her, ineffective in his dealings with his family and his war study. Quentin the Kelly's daughter also, she followed the same sexual freedom as her mother followed. In other words, Quentin's trying anti-wars of Kelly are highlighted. While Quentin's stoning and wars of Kelly are highlighted, Miss Quentin hates her uncle Jason. In the fourth part, Jason pursues Quentin because he has stolen money from him. Katie's love affair with Dalton Amy is not when she was in as Katie kissing Dalton. Affair with Dalton Amy is another when she was with Candy kissing Dalton. Quentin drowns himself in Charles River in Cambridge. Miss Quentin in love with the man with the tie. Quentin incident in Mosquito 1927, Shorts 1929, Sound and Fury 1929, Oscar and the Shorts 1930, As Rightly Dying 1930, Songs in 1931, These Thesis Age 39 1930, 1930, 19 August 1932. 19 August 1932, Absalom of Psalm 1936, The Undying Place 1913, The Word Forms 1939, Diana 1940, Intruded in the Dust 1940, Of Foreigner 1951, Fable 1954, The Town 1957, and Existing the Rivers 1962, 1910 में वेरी वन ईयर से आया था और 1950 कम फॉरेनर चावल Part number part 5. Third story collection is an these 13 Nights Gamblet collection of crime fiction, collected stories, selected short stories. pretty black, blonde, and olive and window on the shelf. One Wilson replied, the book for which Whitman has written the following. Divide the book for which Whitman has written the following. These are really the thoughts of men in all ages and lands, not original to some of myself. Identify the book for which Whitman has written the following. These are really the thoughts of men in all ages and lands. They are not original to. These are really the thoughts of men in all ages and lands. They are not original to some of myself. Was that this one like casting the word common life which what is the major symbol in Whitman's song of Bison and Cross? How many points are in the first edition? There's August 12 points. The poet of the body and I am the poet soul. This was a wrong boy. I am the poet of the body and I am the poet soul. Which American writer was a great Albert and Whitman Emerson? Which American writer was a great influence on Emerson? The secrets. Whitman's Captain, My Captain, Pursuit of Democracy. Tina Bell, This is about the England. Whitman's poem Crossing Brooklyn Ferry contains 9 sections. Whitman's poem Crossing Brooklyn Ferry contains 9 sections. Leaves of Grassy, the book is based on democracy. Leaves of Grassy, the book is based on democracy. Nine is in the note of Leaves of Grass. 9 Leaves of Grass. This became a note of Leaves of Grass. Like from which poem of Whitman said the following line, taking the operation. The shades of light on moody tear from life and lilac Dorian. Poor western pollen restore. The shades of light on moody tears for night. Poems of Walt Whitman. Last night in the real song of myself. That is the first song of myself, present a man of 19th century. It's a Whitman poem about with spiritual touches and transcendentalism versus to India. It's a Whitman's poem about the spiritual touches and transcendentalism versus to India. Whitman's poem Captain, My Captain is a sad poem mourning the death of a great man who was he, Abraham Lincoln. Walt Whitman's poem Captain, My Captain is a sad poem mourning the death of a great man who was he, Abraham Lincoln. Who among these is called a homespun philosopher? Robert Frost. Whitman revised the book many times, which is the book Leaves of Grass 1955 The first biography titled Whitman appeared in Richard Buckle. Its famous poem does already make a reference to the Suez Canal and Wild Line, Scotland versus India. Author of Follow is a poem spread across Walt Whitman. Spread myself and what I said to you, said that you for every item belonging to me as could belong to this is written in Walt Whitman. Adam and Eve appears then there, my dear, pray, proving after thesis, wandering, yearning, curious, with restless exploration. These lines take place in Passage to India. Adams and Eve appears. In his paper, Did Whitman did anti-slavery paper in Brooklyn. Freeman. In which paper did Whitman read anti-slavery paper in Brooklyn? Freeman. Anti-slavery paper in the Kelson of creation and love. The line occurs in Song of Myself. Kelson tradition is love. The line occurs in Song of Ice. Whitman is no advocate of democracy. Abraham Lincoln creates and schools in abeyance, retiring back while suffice that what they are but not government. Song creates and schools in its obedience, retiring back while suffice and what they are but not forward means from these lines taken, in which August poem do witness Whitman's and inhabited treatment of sex, children of a spontaneous being human yet funny. Do we witness Whitman's and who made the comment the first publication of clips of system navigation of wisdom that America has it contributed to our revolution. Who made the comment on the first publication of clips of was the most extraordinary piece of wit and wisdom that America has it contributed to our revolution. Added by the last line of Whitman's passage to India, O father of all the fathers, saying, those are known as Anglian Whitman's in the Brown, which of the periodicals was started Whitman's novel agenda. Lines written by Robert Lieutenant, if anything is sacred, human body is sacred. Who has written the poem on the ascension of Whitman? What is the central theme of Whitman's famous poem Persistenia, spiritually and transcendentalism? The Kelson of creation is love line occur in Song of Myself. Kelson of creation is love lines occur in Song of Myself. Walt Whitman was born 1819. Whitman was inspired by the British Carlyle. Whitman started in Whitman is considered a poet of America, revolutionary poet of America. Whitman revolutionary birthday. The first edition of Whitman's Clips of Glass appeared in 1855. His was sensuous and impassionate and at its best symbol, thus according with Milton's focus about whom has these lines of Whitman. In the opening stanza of Song of Myself, Whitman begins his epistle at the age of 37. Whitman's Song of Myself was first included in Leaves of Grass and became the editor of Brooklyn Blade. Here America singing is a lyric patriotic who is known as the god of democracy to Whitman. Which of the following poet was the opinion that art like trees and shrubs had a natural growth? Whitman. Art like trees and shrubs had a natural growth. Whitman. लास्ट वर्क ऑफ फॉकनर द मैंशन कब आया था 1960 में 1996 वर्क ऑफ विलियम फॉकनर 1930 में आया था 1932 में आया था A novel of William Faulkner shows the effect of Mrs. Wade flowed on the lives of convict New Orleans doctor and his mistress. The well formed novel of William Faulkner shows the effect of Mrs. Wade flowed the lives of a convicted New Orleans doctor and his mistress studying things. The vivid forms by the time little girl in dancing sound and fury candy. Salam is work by William Faulkner, which work of Salam का आया था 1986 which work of William Faulkner also a poem edition of Salam 1936 which of the following was Faulkner's novel Fable 1963, 62 Marathon Fever 1962, Rainbow Fever 1954, Marathon 75. Which are the following novels about the decay and fall of the aristocratic Compson family? Sound and Fury 1930. 29 है, गलत हो जाता है क्यों? William Faulkner's last novel, The Reapers 1962. इसके लिए इनको पुलित्जर प्राइज मिला था. This famous novel of William Faulkner was published in 1929, The Sound and Fury. Which of the following is a sadist and horror novel by William Faulkner? Sadist and horror novel by William Faulkner, Sound Fury. William Faulkner was published in 1999, The Sound and Fury. Which of the following is a sadist and horror Faulkner, Sound Fury? Which was Faulkner's first novel, The Sound and the Fury, 1929. Faulkner wrote the monarchs bill and identified the monarchs. How many times did Faulkner win the Pulitzer Prize? 2 times. How many times did Faulkner win the Pulitzer Prize? 2 times. In 1955 में first time 1955, second 1963, 64, 63 मिला था ना. Faulkner's Sound and Fury was published in 1999. Is a novel that accompanies the poor and the unemployed William Faulkner. One of the following is a book for children. William Faulkner identified the missing. Faulkner joined first the Canadian and then he joined the Royal Air Force. Which among the following is a novel by William Faulkner, Sound and Fury? Under request by William Faulkner. इंग्लिश कब आया था? 1938 में. The chief rival of Faulkner was Hemingway. Faulkner wrote his first novel, Soldier's Way, 1926, under the influence of Cyril Anderson. Novel tells the story of Thomas Woodpen and Edward Short in the mystery of Absalom in 1930. Published in 1990, the biography of Faulkner's title was written by Joseph Brodner के द्वारा इनकी फर्स्ट बायोग्राफी लिखी गई. Which novel contains the character चिच मैलिसन? ये इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये आया था प्रीवियस ईयर में. मतलब चिच मैलिसन, इंट्रूडर इन द डस्ट. इंट्रूडर इन द डस्ट कब आया था? 48 में आया था. Quentin Compson appeared in the novel The Sound and Fury 1929. Quentin Compson. Correct. Faulkner got inspiration for writing novels from Cyril Anderson. The Pulitzer Prize was given to Faulkner for his novel Fable in 1955 and for 1963 for Rivers. Which novelist created a fictional Mississippi country Faulkner था. Following is an exact extract from William Faulkner's novel Prizetation, powerful and unique contribution to the modern American novel. I am too old to go to eat with strangers. With these words, Faulkner declared the invitation of dinner. He was invited by President F. Kennedy. Faulkner won two National Book Awards for his collected stories in 1959 for his novel. This novel is a fable. Title is Anand Puri is taken from Macbeth. Act 5 से लिया गया है मैकबेथ के Act 5 से. Christopher wrote a series of novels set in the fictional Uppgt country in Mississippi. William Faulkner. The poet's voice need not merely be the record of man, it can be one of the pillars to help him and prevail. Who said this? William Faulkner. Voice need not merely be the record, it can be one of the pillars to help him endure and prevail. Who said this? William Faulkner. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. Who said this? William Faulkner. I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. Who said this? William Faulkner. This novel written by Faulkner is about World War I and its aftermath. 1926. So let's be. This part of the United States has been written about in Faulkner's fiction. The southern part. It's not a Faulkner set in the early 19th century and depicts the tragic downfall of the dynastic series Colonel Sullivan, 1936. Where is Faulkner born? Long Island, 1997. Long Island. Which of the following is 3 America Baranan 1942 41. Faulkner portrays himself and Faulkner's work deal with the history and legends of American South. Faulkner was ordered non-rise in 1949. Not disclose how he selected the name of the fictional country in which most of his work took place. Derivation of the Cherokee Indian word. Never disclose how he selected the name of the fictional country in which took place. What is the most commonly accepted derivation of the word Cherokee Indian word?